I might not have any food in my hands, but this is gonna be Paris in My Pocket's quick and dirty guide to picnicking in Paris, because you don't always have to have a blanket or a basket if you wanna have a delightful picnic in Paris. I'm gonna show you how to eat outside, that's the main thing, and drink, because arrondissement by arrondissement, but generally in Paris, you can have a drink outside, whether it's on the Seine or in a park. Have a little tipple, have a good time. Go to parisinmypocket.com, grab my guide right now for all kinds of other helpful tips and places to buy the things we're gonna be talking about. But otherwise, hope you enjoy this quick and filthy guide to picnicking in Paris. We'll get to this park here shortly. Thankfully, there are a lot of grocery stores all over the place. Carrefour is one brand. You'll also find Franprix, or Franprix as we like to call it. And as you go around, you can just walk in, grab some chips, wine, beer. Make sure you grab a wine opener, a bottle opener, if you need it. Don't forget that, like, before you go to the river. But I'm gonna skip the grocery store this time, because you know how to go to a grocery store. Buy some meat, buy some cheese, buy some fruit, you know, some vegetables, then walk to a bakery. We'll show you a bakery that I love later, and a more fun place to get all this stuff than a grocery store. The nice thing is the grocery store is really the quick and dirty way to do it. Grab what you need, walk straight to the river, and then sit down and have yourself a little picnic. But we're gonna go just around the corner to a little spot that's in my guide. And if it's not in my guide for some reason, I've been debating this. I've been wondering, is it actually in there? If it's not, we're going to add it, because it is one of my favorite spots in this neighborhood, just to grab a craft beer that's cold and ready to go. So we're gonna do that now. So I got into my guide for the 6th arrondissement, which is where we are right now. And this street, we have it in the new version of the guide that will be out here soon, but there are a couple things on the street that are recommended, including the Smith's Bakery, which would be a great place to go get kind of a modern but classic French bakery take. If you want to get your sandwich, great spot to do it. And then right next to it is the Cave à Bière. That's not in my guide, but we're going to put it in the picnic section that we're going to create here very shortly, so you'll be able to find all of this information on my guide. And of course, you've got all kinds of recommendations in the PDF that's available right now at parisinmypocket.com. But what my dad and I are going to do is we're going to walk in here, we're going to buy ourselves a nice cold beer, and then we're going to walk on over to the river, sit down, take a break, because my legs are tired and I want to sit down. I'm done walking and very thirsty. This is actually really cool, because this is like a passageway between buildings. You can enter in through here, I'm guessing, to somebody's house, but they've converted it into a beer cellar, which is delightful. Bonjour, monsieur. So they have a double IPA, they have a Citra. I love this brewery, yeah. I just really like this brewery a lot. Yeah, I think I'll do the same.
C'est emporté?
C'est emporté. Emporté means takeaway, to go. Of course, this is the truest way to do a local style picnic. This is something that I do with my friends all the time. In fact, believe it or not, I do have friends, and we had plans to do a bigger evening sitting on the river having drinks last night at sunset, and it turned into a very, very rainy afternoon, thunderstorms and everything. So you can always wave at the boats as they go by, or if you're on a boat, feel free to wave at people sitting here like we are. Yeah, it's just us hanging out, sitting, have a drink, and I'll cheers you. It's good to sit, chill, and just watch the world go by. The nice thing about sitting on the river Seine brings life to the city, right? Paris used to be a port. Pont-Neuf, as the stories go, is where they used to hang criminals. So as you came into town, it was like, hey, Paris, serious business, watch out. Pont-Neuf, behind us here, literally means the new bridge, and ironically is the oldest bridge in town, but it was the first bridge in Paris to get built without houses on top of it. It used to be a very popular thing to have a house on top of a bridge. Caused a lot of congestion. I used to joke that you didn't want to trust your infrastructure to getting burned down by somebody who left a campfire unattended, but all arsonist jokes aside, this bridge is gorgeous. Obviously, you can take a boat ride along the Seine, and while I wouldn't consider a boat ride to be necessarily a picnic, you can bring a drink along for a boat ride along the Seine, or you can just sit here and watch them go by. Great spot for a sunset, great spot for a picnic. You don't even need to do a fancy picnic. You literally just sit here with the legs over the side of the river and have a beer, have a sandwich, bottle of wine, maybe some champagne, charcuterie, strawberries. Don't forget the strawberries. And yeah, just try not to kick your beer when you're getting up, because that's a thing that I've done before. It's tragic. Yeah, the Smiths came through for you. That looks really good.
I'd recommend that you carry a little bottle of hand sanitizer, because when you sit down on the side of the river, you're going to get your hands dirty, and if you're eating and have your hands dirty, it might not be quite as attractive.
Thanks to today's patron producer, Erica Youngstrom, for sending us out and making this all so deliciously possible to have our picnics, whether it's on the Seine or a very traditional photogenic spread in front of the Eiffel Tower, which is coming up here soon. Thanks for making it possible. And to all my patrons, of course, who have access to things like my Mapster, where those little spots that aren't in the PDF guide, but will be in the future guide, you're living in that liminal space. Go check it out on patreon.com/JSwanson. And moving on. Spot number 2, markets. This is Marché Popincourt, which isn't exactly close to a good picnicking spot, but it is open today and not terribly far from Buttes Chaumont, which is where we're headed to after this. If you're gonna get prepped and you don't want to go to the supermarché because you're used to going to the supermarché wherever it is you come from, you can come to an outdoor market here in Paris. They're on every day. This one's not on every day here, but there is always a market on. They're usually on 2 or 3 times a week. You can figure that out online. We're gonna be adding a section to my guide very soon, so you know which markets are running when. It's not there yet, but it is coming very soon, which is kind of the exciting part of the whole thing evolving over the course of this next year. But for now, suffice it to say, safe to say, it's worth taking a little bit of a risk, going to a market, grabbing a little bit of fresh fruit, fresh veg. Make sure you get the strawberries if you're gonna get anything while you're here. If they're in season, they will change your life. 100% guaranteed. So we could have also gone to the Belleville Marché, which is open today, but this one's really, really handy because it's between 2 things that I love. Bread at Utopie, one of my favorite bakeries, just over here to the left, and booze, beer or wine at Liquiderie de Cave, or there's a bar and a cave, but we're gonna be going and grabbing maybe some beer or some natural wine. And don't forget your bottle opener. Let's go. And of course, if you're lucky, they'll give you some free samples. And if you're a pushover like I am, you'll end up buying some really good watermelon. Buttes Chaumont is probably my favorite park in the entire city, and by probably I mean it is. It's gonna be a little bit out of your way. It's not the easiest to get to necessarily, especially if you take the actual metro stop for Buttes Chaumont. Now we did plan to have a little bit more of a full-size picnic, but then it was raining, and so we were gonna go to one of the bars that are in the park. There are 2 bars in the park, both in my guide, but one of them is the Rosa Bonheur, and it's a great spot for a drink, get out of the rain. If your picnic gets ruined, you can save it that way, which is one of the really nice elements to the Buttes Chaumont. But if you're gonna be here and the sun does come out, then you can enjoy your strawberries, your watermelon, your baguette. Normally, if you can get up here, which hopefully they'll be doing some repairs and it'll be back and available in the not too distant future, get some wonderful views of the city, including of Sacré-Cœur off in the distance, and it is magical. I love this park.
Do you think looks are important?
Or if Buttes Chaumont is a little bit too far out of your way, Luxembourg Gardens is one of my absolute favorite public parks. It is unfortunately super crowded most of the time, especially during the summer. It's loaded with people, but the nice thing is they have these really comfortable metal chairs, so you don't have to worry about sitting on the ground or finding a bench, bringing your own picnic blanket. As you'll notice, we haven't gotten to our picnic blanket yet, which is one I didn't even bring. Somebody brought that for me, but you can still have a picnic without the blanket, without the basket. Just grab a sandwich at a boulangerie nearby, grab some chips, bring it with you, sit, chill, and enjoy the outdoors. It's really, really nice. Even if you don't want to eat, bring a book, sunbathe a little bit, walk around, enjoy the flowers. If you have a family, you've got kids, this is a great place to bring your kids. There are boats that they can drive, pilot on the pond here. There's a guy that'll rent those out, and it's really, really cute as well. And yeah, it's just a phenomenal spot to go, walk, feel like you're almost out of the city? Nah, you don't really feel like you're out of the city here, but it is beautiful. It's a wonderful park. Of course, if you do want to sit on the grass, Luxembourg Gardens does have that. Just make sure you walk away from the Senate. By the way, that's the Senate on the other side of that little pond. And then you can chill as long as it says that it's authorized. I'll show you that sign. And if you want some shade, there's some shade here and shade over here. You'll find a bunch of benches on the outside. Everybody sticks to the ponds and the little loops in the middle, but make sure to go to the edges a little bit. You'll find some fun stuff. I won't tell you what exactly. You got to find that out on your own. There are concessions here as well. Gonna be kind of pricey, but if you don't manage to bring your own sandwich with you, you should be able to find something to snack on. Definitely overpriced though. There are also toilets, public and free toilets in this delightful cabin on the western side of the park. So if you go past like the tennis courts, the basketball courts, all that stuff, just keep walking, you'll find it in the corner. It's because this is the northwest corner of the park. Got that backwards in my head, but yeah, that should be right.
I ride my bike, I roller skate, don't drive no car.
Of course, one of the more counterintuitive ways to do a picnic might be on a bike tour. You know how I feel about bike tours. I love biking around. You get to sit and enjoy the world rushing around you in every direction. And it's just a great way to, you know, let the breeze blow through your hair as you see a lot of the city really quickly. And Fat Tire, they're offering a new picnic tour down and around the center of Paris, and then you end with a delightful picnic on the Champ de Mars, one of the most famous spots to have a picnic in the city. A fantastic one with a delightful view and some delightful people. Highly recommend going on a bike tour of any kind, but if you want to do it with a picnic at the end where you can pick up some of the stuff that you're going to eat on the picnic, then do it with Fat Tire, and make sure to use my link below. Give me credit. That actually counts this time. There are a lot of people that I got on tours with them in the past before I worked with them and gave me credit. It didn't really work out. But if you give me credit now, it'll credit back to my channel, which helps to support my channel. And of course, all these videos we're making for you. And, you know, keeps Cooper in diapers, which is really handy, to be honest. Jess is probably not going to be your tour guide, but she was our tour guide today. We went and got wine, cheese, bread, macaroons, all kinds of good stuff. You're going to be able to make a picnic, the picnic of your dreams. A simple picnic, an easy picnic, because you know what? Any good Parisian picnic is actually a fairly simple picnic. Whether you're going to a market or a local vendor, a baker, a fromagiere, wherever it is that you're gonna find the food that you want, you're gonna put together a great picnic and bike around, see the sights, and earn whatever sugary treat you grabbed along the way. Obviously, there are a lot of places that you can have a picnic in Paris, but one of the most iconic is in the Champ de Mars, underneath the Eiffel Tower, and one of the best ways to get here is by bike. Why would you walk through all this? You shouldn't walk through all this. There's so much space to cover. I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. Walking sucks, biking rules. If you want to see Paris, do it by bike. Along the river, along the Champ de Mars. We're here with Fat Tire Tours, who prepared this spread for us. They're gonna take you to where you need to go to buy your own picnic, bring you here, have a nice time, taking photos under the Eiffel Tower, and then, you know, yeah, what a good way to do a picnic. Ching, ching, clink, clink, clinkety, clink, clink, clink. Definitely earned that champagne. Anyways, that'll do it for Paris in My Pockets, quick and dirty tips to picnicking in Paris. We had a wonderful time, whether it's in Bouchermont, Luxembourg Gardens, on the Seine, or by the Eiffel Tower. There are dozens of places you can have a delightful picnic or just an outdoor drink here in Paris. Make it up as you go. You'll have a really good time. And thanks to all my patrons for sending this out, making it possible. And thanks to you for watching. Just really glad that you're here. I hope you have a wonderful time in Paris, assuming that you're watching this video because you're coming. And if you're just watching it because you love my charming personality, really?